Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about Neon Genesis Evangelion. That's a long title, I'm just going to call it Neon Genesis. It's a 1995 anime directed by Hideaki Anno. He also worked on Mobile Suit Gundam eventually, but he hasn't done anything super significant since then or before. This was kind of like his best work, Hideaki took a lot of inspiration from his own mental health experiences to put into the show, so we have some interesting backstory to this. The voice talent is awesome. We have so many amazing voice talent. I'm just going to list all of them. I actually don't have time to list everyone in particular. We have the voices of Yugi from Yu-Gi-Oh!, Sailor Moon from Sailor Moon, Casca from Berserk, Spike and Faye from Cowboy Bebop. We have from Dragon Ball, Demon Slayer, Jujutsu Kaisen, Mobile Suit Gundam, Food Wars, Saiki K, and more that I just don't recognize, but there are some talented people working on this. Talented. This was actually the first anime I ever watched. I was a kid. If you've watched this show, you're probably thinking, why? This is probably the worst anime that you could have started with. And yes, it was. And it is. And no, I had no clue what I was getting into. Obviously, I didn't look into it too much before I watched it because I didn't want to get spoiled. But luckily, I wasn't freaked out by anything. I wasn't weirded out. And definitely wasn't turned off to anime at all. I actually enjoyed it, according to my memory. Fast forward to today, and I rewatched it, and I still enjoyed it. I'm just so confused at what I just watched. Quick trigger warning. This show contains strange imagery, uncomfortable themes, and, I'm going to be blunt, very fucked up scenes. Viewer discretion is advised when watching this show. This should not be your first anime. Consult a friend. So, lots of background, but what's the show about? Neon Genesis Evangelion is set up in Japan at some points in the future, and our main protagonist is Shinji. We can tell it's the future because of the advanced technology, but it still uses present time things like the public transport of trains. So it's the mixture of like times. I guess it's the typical mecha punk, if that's a thing. I don't know. Anyway, Shinji is summoned to his father, who runs a top secret government facility that defends the world from monster attacks. These monsters are called angels. They are powerful monsters or kaijus, if you want to look at it like that. And they kind of just destroy stuff. So obviously, let's not have that happen. Let's kill them. The top secret facility is called Nerve. Shinji is tasked with piloting one of the mechs or robots against these attacks. These mechs are called Evas. That's basically the premise of the show. It's basically robots versus giant angels. Or is it? Slightly more backstory. Second Impact is this catastrophic event that almost wiped out the human race. It happened in the year 2000. And the series is set in 2015. So I might mention Second Impact, and I hope it just gives enough context. This is 15 years after a catastrophic event. I'll get into more detail on that. Also, we have a timeline. Basically, it's going to follow the angel numbers, and they conveniently number the angels for us. Some episodes are fillers, so I reckon it's easier to just follow the story by all the angels that come. First angel, first couple episodes. Last angel, last couple of episodes, right? It's linear story. So we start with what they say is the third angel attack, and the mission doesn't really go well. By the way, third angel as in, this is not the first time that angels have attacked, which is why Nerve is a thing, The angel is this humanoid-looking creature with like funny-looking torso heads inside of its torso. So Shinji gets kind of roped into being a mech pilot, but now he's the official pilot for the Eva. I'm going to call them Evas now. There is another pilot, Rei, but she's currently recovering from injuries. Awesome. The fourth angel attack is this caterpillar creature with like glowing tentacles. Afterwards, Shinji tries to talk to Rei, but she seems uninterested in conversation, almost robotic. I predicted this, by the way. My thoughts in my brain, I predicted this. Remember that for later. The fifth angel attack is a flying prism. Don't worry, they get weirder. It's here that I noticed that the angels seem to be directing their attacks on Nerve headquarters, where all the cast and the Evas are. That is not a coincidence. That is important to the story. The gang eventually need to transport a new Eva mech using like an old Navy fleet, and they refer to these old ships as like pre-impact technologies, so like warships that were invented before 2000. It's so cool. Basically, as soon as the Angels arrived, then all this fancy technology started developing. It's interesting. And here we meet Asuka, another Eva pilot. So we have 3 Eva pilots now. The 6th Angel attack is in this episode. It's a water creature, conveniently, that attacks the fleet during this episode. Asuka joins the team, and her and Shinji argue a lot, and they struggle to work together. Conveniently, the next angel is the perfect solution to fix this. The 7th angel attack is another humanoid-looking thing, but they cut it in half, and now it's in 2 parts, so there's basically 2 angels. Shinji and Asuka need to work together to defeat the 2 parts, so we get some montages. It's a more fun-looking episode. The 8th angel is an egg that is discovered in a volcano, so Asuka needs to dive down into the magma and capture it, but it hatches and there's a fight and she kills it. It's just interesting because now it's inside of lava, so it's weird. The 9th angel attack is a spider-looking creature that secretes like a corrosive substance, and interesting, Nerve has a blackout. So since the power's out, everything in the facility is done manually, which also adds a nice twist, so there's some variety. We also get a sneak peek at what Second Impact looked like, and we get more sneak peeks and reveals later, but holy shit, it is so cool. I want to know more. That just the visuals. What the hell is Second Impact? It looks so cool. The 10th angel attack is like a flying strand with eyes. It's almost like a DNA strand with like 3 eyeballs. Listen, these things are weird. This is the best way I could describe it. There are pictures, don't worry. And it kind of drops bombs, and it like kamikazes. Obviously they catch it and then it's fine. The 11th angel attack is a computer virus that spreads around Nerve, also a unique angel. We eventually see Shinji play the cello. I wrote this down. Hell yeah. We also discover that Nerve is housing Lilith. If an angel reaches Lilith, then it's basically game over. He looks like one of the early angels that they seem to have captured. He looks like something to do with Second Impact, and they don't want a third impact to happen. Basically, defend this bitch. The 12th angel attack is this floating marble thing. The shadow of the marble seemingly swallows Shinji and the whole city. And it turns out that the shadow thing is the angel and has reversed its AT field. Basically, AT field is like the force field that the angels emit. Long story. So the marble looking thing is the shadow, and the thing on the ground is the angel, and it's absorbing things, or according to them, taking them to other dimensions, and we see Shinji's perspective in that dimension. It's extremely confusing, but the show explains it better. But that is not the most confusing thing in the show. Don't you worry. Also, a thought crossed my mind. How did Shinji's mom die? It's something I noted. They never actually explained this, but I was reading up and I think Shinji watched her die and it was an accident, and I don't know. But it's something I noted. Let's not leave anything out. The 13th angel is a 4th Eva. It's like another Eva mech that went rogue during setup. Shinji can't bear to kill the Eva because there's a pilot inside of it, and they take over the Eva without Shinji's permission. Like, Shinji's trying to move it, I can't move it, and then they like remotely just kill the angel. Cool. Shinji is obviously pissed off because he like technically killed the person, but he didn't. I don't actually know why he's so upset. Shinji's pissed, and he says he never wants to pilot an Eva again, which is the best time for another angel attack. The 4th angel is some kind of armless humanoid that shoots lasers, and then it grows paper arms and it like cuts things, and the angel defeats everyone. But luckily Shinji comes back last minute after seeing the destruction and saves the day. We discover here that the armor on the Evas are actually restraints as to maintain control of the Evas. What the hell? It's so cool, by the way. It's so cool. We see a flashback to the years after the Second Impact, so between Second Impact and the present. This is my favorite episode because it gives the most lore. They say Second Impact was a meteor, but obviously it was a cover-up. It was actually humans messing around with angel technology and fucking up royally, I think. They mention seals Dead Sea Scrolls again. I'll mention that later. And how Shinji's dad knew that second impact was going to happen, and how they knew a third impact was going to happen again in about 10 years' time, which is why Shinji comes back. Then they go down into what I'm assuming is Japan 3 in the past, and Nerve HQ. It's like the main area of this, like an underground area. And apparently it's the same shape and size of the second impact blast that it happened in like Antarctica. It's the same size. Why is it in Japan? Why is it underground? It's so weird. And they discovered this, which meant that this hole happened before they even started working on Nerve. So before second impact, it happened underground. What the hell? It's so weird. And they don't explain everything, by the way. Then they reveal one of the first EVA mechs, which was a copy of Lilith, but why? It's just, there's so many questions. Still the question of why does this exist? Angels are not attacking yet, so they know something that we don't. And mysteries like this make the show so interesting because they show us something and they don't explain like, oh, Lilith is there. What is he? How long has he been there? Why is he on a cross? What is that pole thing? So many questions. So many questions. Jumping back to the present, the fifth angel attack finally looks like a fucking angel, because none of them look like angels. This one actually looks like an angel. It's got wings. It's glowing. And it beamed a light on Asuka and attacked her psychologically. So it's like a ray gun of mental fuckery, you know. Rey uses a giant fucking spear and obliterates the angel. It's annihilated. It is annihilated. It's so cool. But like, probably should have saved that spear if it was so powerful. Why'd you kind of just chuck it into fucking space, idiot? It is apparently a super important tool in what everyone's trying to do. By the way, they talk about the spear a lot. The 16th angel attack is a giant ring. Okay, it turns into a snake or worm and it just attacks and like fuses with people and like infects people. It's weird. It fuses with Rey and she self-destructs to kill the angel. Could have worked around that, but you know what? Thanks, Rey, for the sacrifice. Finally, some more information about the Dead Sea Scrolls, but not like concrete information yet. But we know that there are 17 angels in total, so there's only one left, and it's coming. The Rey chamber is revealed. That's all I'm going to say. Mind-blowing shit. Now things are kind of falling apart. Not only the city, but everyone in Nerve. So many people are injured from the previous attack. It got so close to Lilith and things. And then the 17th angel comes, and he looks like a human, and it's kind of disguised, and he almost reaches Lilith. Close one, boys, but he is eliminated as well. Then the final 2 episodes are a bunch of a deep character analysis. It's kind of like an abstract, like, talk about the characters, and that's that. The series ends. Just like that. Series is over. It's so baffling because there's like no resolution at all. The last episodes is just some explaining, okay, now all the angels are defeated. What now? What happens to Nerve? Like nothing is really explained. Good thing that there's a grand finale film, End of Evangelion. Hopefully that explains everything. Spoiler alert, it makes everything much more confusing. So, we've reached the end of the series, and the creators of the series were like, you know, people were not happy with that ending. Let's make a more satisfying ending, and boy, did they. It's an hour-and-a-half movie, and it picks up right where the series left off. Same crew, same director, everything. It's kind of like a secret final episode, but it's a movie. Okay, let's go. Okay, so the 17th angel is defeated. I guess the world doesn't need Nerve anymore. What better way, instead of telling everyone to go home, they send soldiers, tanks, planes, and a huge task force to take over Nerve HQ and kill everyone. Sure, because that's sane, right? They even send their own homemade EVAs. They've got wings, and it's crazy. It's such a crazy thing. Eventually, the world ends, fully ends. Every human being has their souls sucked out and absorbed by this massive being, and Shinji is like taken up in his mech and basically gets the final say. The angels are like, hey Shinji, so listen, the world's over, don't you worry, we have one wish for you. What would you like the world to look like? What if you had any wish? and you can't wish for more wishes, what would you want the world to be like? And he basically says, well, dude, everyone hates me. All the people hate me. Let's get rid of all the people. Right. And they're like, okay, snap my fingers. Bet. And they do that. And now it's just him. And then he's like, what, did I say that? I'm so sorry. You know what? It's okay if people are distant from each other sometimes. People are different. They don't have to get along sometimes. And then they seemingly revert everything. There is more confusing and disturbing scenes. And then it just ends right there. That is a major oversimplification. I'm not mentioning everything. I'm not explaining anything. It is very confusing, so it won't make sense even if I try explain it. Trust me, that's basically what happens. So before I get into the analysis, I did leave out a lot of plots that I would love to talk about, but it's all information that I think are really cool and that I think if you wanted to watch it and if you're going to brace yourself for the fucked up things that are in the show, which I will explain now, then watch it because it is a good show. It is very, very nice. So, explanation time. So the show ended. The final episode made zero sense. Actually, the final 2 episodes, and I did some reading, and everyone was pissed off. So they made a movie, right? The movie continued the story. Okay. But it ended, and it still makes zero sense. Okay. And it also seemed to completely ignore the last 2 episodes, and then it like picked up from just after the death of the 17th angel. What's going on? So I did some digging, and this is what I could find. A lot of the show is a metaphor. The series isn't about mechs fighting giant monsters. It's about human connection. Shit, I was enjoying those freaking robots and the angels. Damn it, it was all metaphor? Okay. But what do the endings mean? Why is there a show and then it ends like that, and then there's a movie? Basically, the show has ending 1, and the movie has ending 2. The show is apparently the good ending, where Shinji accepts the shortcomings of himself and others, and learns to open his heart up to love the people around him, or whatever. And the movie is ending 2, it's him latching onto the wrong things, and being narcissistic, being evil, or whatever. This is also a major simplification, but trust me, it can take hours to explain fully. Trust me, that's what happens. There are some things that are explained in the show, some things that are kept a mystery, and then other things are just up to interpretation, honestly. Neon Genesis Evangelion is deep. It is so deep. If you look up stuff about the show, you go into a rabbit hole, okay? Something that was explained, though, was the overall plan of Shinji's dad. I forgot his name. I wrote it down somewhere. The secret organization funding Nerve, the secret plan that they all had, which was the Human Instrumentality Project, basically to unite everyone's consciousness so that we can all get along. Again, a major oversimplification, but that's all I got. I thought it was super cool looking up information to further deepen the lore. There is information missing, but if you look, there's actually a perfectly valid explanation. Neon Genesis was made in 1995, but it did not seem to have aged at all. You can see, obviously, it's not as polished as modern animation, but it's smooth. The action scenes are stunning, especially the ending with like those cosmic entities. My favorite moments are showing off something huge or powerful, like a mech shooting a sniper. You would think, okay, you can't just shoot a normal sniper, it's a mech. You need a mech-sized sniper. And the recoil, dude, you truly understand the scale of how big or how strong something is. The characters' faces, everything, it's awesome. I love it. I love it so much. Speaking of, the characters are super deep. The underlying themes in the show tackle human nature, loneliness, and lots of other things I'm forgetting, but if I write them all down, this will be a long video. But there's a lot going on, and just like the story, each of the characters are so deep. I'm just going to put it like that. So every character gets some kind of internal conflict and mental struggles, even some of the side characters, but of course the main cast get more screen time. So the show was written well in like every aspect, basically. Speaking of writing, that brings me back to what I did not like, is the ending, or the endings. I understand why the endings panned out the way that they did. It's a deep show with lots of themes, lots of character arcs, and I am disappointed because I loved the universe of Neon Genesis and I wanted a more concrete ending. I wanted an explanation for everything, and I also understand that my version probably would have sucked, but that's why I don't write movies, huh? Either way, I can extract things from what happened and interpret the ending in some ways. I also look up information, and I do find answers. So overall, I am satisfied. Vague endings are still good endings. If you're not happy with the ending, look it up. They will explain it to you more, and you will come out a happier person. A nice detail is that each angel is mostly different, if not like totally wild and out there. Like the shadow angel with the marble and the floor thing, that was a crazy concept to follow. And then the thing about each angel being different is that Nerve need to find a unique way to kill every angel because they're all different. It makes it a very interesting watch. I was pleasantly surprised. Plus all the mysteries, it makes me just sit down and watch. I actually sat down and I was supposed to record other reviews, and I just sat down and watched this one because I just want to see everything, you know? Apart from the endings and the internal conflicts and emotions of some of the characters, there are even more details like religious themes. They don't address this directly, but you can see it everywhere. Angels, Adam was mentioned as the first human. Eve was made from Adam. Some explosions are in the shape of a cross. Somehow, I don't know how that happens. Lilith was found crucified on a cross. We see cross necklaces. They also mention God and the Garden of Eden, to name a few. There are so many. So there's a lot of Christian references. I think it's cool. It adds to the vibes and the mystery of the show. Plus, you don't see religious imagery often, so I like it. And finally, despite all of the fucked up themes and everything weird, the show still manages to make me laugh. There are jokes and gags. Yeah, there's partial nudity, but those are like bundled in with the comedy. And they don't just make people nude because sex sells. It's like tasteful. It's all tasteful. So, with all that being said, I give this an 8 out of 10. Neon Genesis Evangelion is one of, if not the best, like animes out there. It's legend status at this point. This is 30 years old, right? It's amazing. Outstanding overall in like every field. There are just uncomfortable moments and sex scenes, but they're there for a perfectly logical reason. It's all justified. It is unfortunately just a bit too vague for me, all the information. I was invested in the humans versus angels, but it went a different direction. For me, it's not the best, but I recognize art when I see it, and damn is the art beautiful. Beautiful and stunning. Stunning. So if you like cool action anime, but still interested in like deeper lore and hidden meanings, then this is the anime for you. Side rant. I fucking predicted that Rey was weird, actually was a robot. You know what? Close enough. Close enough. I predicted that. I get 10 bonus points. 10 bonus points. You guys have 0 points. You guys have no points. I'm getting all the points. You're racking none of them. You need to watch shows and you need to predict them. And then when you predict it right, you get points. I got so many points. I've got at least 11 points. I don't know, dude. The show is weird. But it's so cool. It's so fun. It's awesome. Yeah, but if you're not into like messed up imagery and if you're underage, talk to a parent. This is seriously, there are some not so nice things in here. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.